A fine man once said, the FA Cup final is the single greatest match outside of the World Cup final. And it's ours. And we're not going to disagree with Sir Bobby of Robson, so here is our A to Z of the world's most famous club competition. Starting where else but with the player with the most winners' medals, Ashley Cole. 7 wins from 8 finals means he's got more silverware than your nan's mantelpiece. Whilst Ashley was breaking the record, Manchester City's German keeper was breaking his neck, yet still managed to play on as they ran out winners against Birmingham in '56. One of Wembley's biggest David against Goliath moments was also down to a keeper, as Dave Besant became the first man to save a cup final penalty to ensure the Crazy Gang beat the Culture Club. Neither would have stopped this man though. D is of course for Drogba.
Here's Drogba again! Yet again at Wembley!
For E, the crown belongs to someone else. Then the Super Frankie Lampard, 4-time FA Cup champ and scorer of 2010's winner. His dad, Frank Sr., also won it twice, making them the most successful father and son duo in Cup history. G is for
Gerrard! Oh!
Who can forget Liverpool's youthful-looking skipper smashing in this screamer in 2006? Give yourself a pat on the back, Stevie. One of the most iconic ever final goals came in 1987 as HOUCHEN'S header helped unfancied Coventry beat Spurs to the Royal Box. Well, they were so excited they let the lead singer of Nickelback lift the trophy. I is for Ian Wright. Announcing himself at Wembley as a super sub in 1990, Wrighty scored after coming on within 3 minutes and was at it again for Arsenal 3 years later. The 70s was the era of great saves. Gordon Banks a close second to Jim Montgomery's double from Cherry and Lorimer, which helped beat Reevy's mighty Leeds in '73.
What a moment in football!
Now apparently George Graham and Eddie Kelly are still arguing over who scored this equaliser for Arsenal in 1971. Unfortunately George, we're giving it to Eddie, as it made him the first sub to ever score in a final. L is for losers. Every year there has to be some, and the FA Cup has the ability to turn grown men into blubbering children. Or grumpy ones. The 1953 final is known as the Stanley Matthews final, despite Stan Mortensen bagging a hat-trick that day. He must have been fuming. Time for Nat Lofthouse's infamous goal in '58.
Lofthouse a goal!
No, not that one, this one. Couldn't get away with that these days, could you? O is for little Mickey Owen and his late double in 2001. The little whippersnapper sprinted away from Dixon, Adams and Seaman's combined age of 206 to score a stoppage time winner. Just so Arsenal fans don't think we're being too harsh, next up is Gunners legend Patrick Vieira, who, with his last kick in the famous red and white, scored the winning penalty in the first ever final shootout. Cue some dad dancing, courtesy of RVP. Q is for the Queen. Her Majesty has attended 12 finals since 1953, but these days cup duties are handled by her grandson, who'll sneakily be hoping for a Villa win today. But keep that to yourself. R is for the hairy-lipped poacher Rushy, who scored in both '86 and '89 to secure a cup double for Liverpool over their Merseyside rivals. Now S should be for a goal like this, or a record breaker like this.
Goal from Louis Saha!
Instead, it's for Liverpool's Spice Boys and those ridiculous white suits Redknapp, Ruddock and their mates wore in 1996. Shocking. Ah, Sir Trevor Brooking, icon, gentleman, legend, and the only man to score a header from below sea level. What's wrong with you? Side foot it, man. U is for underdog. From Cardiff in '27 to Southampton in '76, the cup final has always had the bookies tearing their hair out.
And it's in! It's Ben Watson!
V is for Villa, who scored one of the all-time great cup final goals, waltzing past 4 Man City defenders to secure Aussie's dream in 1981. What else could W be for than the home of the FA Cup final? Because whatever you'll be as long as you're going to X is for extra time. A true test of fitness and endurance. Many a hero has been cast in that extra 30 minutes, and last year's hero was Aaron Ramsey. Y is for youngest. Millwall's Curtis Weston is the youngest to ever play. Norman Whiteside the youngest to score. However, it should have been Paul Allen. had it not been for this tackle by Willie Young. Filth. Young may have got away with his, but Pablo Zabaleta did not, following Kevin Moran and Jose Antonio Reyes to become only the third person to be sent off in a final. Oh, and in 1930, a Zeppelin flew over Wembley. Seems a shame to leave that out. So that's our A to Z of the FA Cup final. What will happen today? Who knows? After all, this is Wembley, and this is the FA Cup final.